MMAfighting.com, and we are with Dan Hooker ahead of his fight with Ali Iaquinta. I feel like Al has taken exception to you calling him over. He keeps mentioning it in most of the interviews I've heard. Do you get that impression at all?
I can see how he would take that stance, like saying that, he's been calling me out. He's been calling me out. He's the one that made the fight, right? Like, he's the higher ranked guy. He wasn't in a position. I think the UFC had him booked on they thought he'd be fighting on the Madison Square Garden card. So it's a little bit of fake news going on there. You know, I said his name, but I'm the lower ranked guy. Of course I'm going to say his name. Of course I'm going to call out like the highest ranked opponent I can get. He put the fight together. He wanted to come down here, so he has to take responsibility for it as well.
It feels like everything about this event is really geared around City Kickboxing, and Eugene Behrman refers to you as the unofficial captain of the team. What's the atmosphere like in the gym ahead of this? It must be incredible.
In the gym, it's ridiculous. We really cruise through training camp. It's just been so much fun because we're all in it together. We're all getting ready for the same thing. We've got two of our fighters fighting Muay Thai tomorrow night. We got MMA on tonight with another teammate. So there's a whole bunch of us. I think there's like 100 City Kickboxing members that have kind of made the trip over to support us. So the energy's just been crazy.
I feel like the Australia v New Zealand thing is being pushed pretty hard by the UFC ahead of this, but you got a great reception yesterday, and so did Israel. Like, I mean, how do you feel like you're going to be welcomed into the arena on Sunday morning?
Yeah, I feel like both of us are going to be cheered. You know, it's not like they're going to boo Al. He's a fan favorite fighter. People want to see him fight. He's an action-packed, exciting guy. And yeah, when I fight here, traditionally I've been supported like a hometown guy as a fighting in the UFC as a New Zealander. You know, we kind of group together as the Anzacs. So yeah, I don't think either of us is going to be cheered or booed. I think we're just both going to be cheered leading into the fight.
How much does this fight mean to you with Al? As you said, he's a high-ranked guy. I mean, you've moved to the lightweight and look fantastic, but is this a significant one for you? Is this a very important one, do you feel, given his ranking position?
It's a crazy opportunity to, he's been in 5 rounds with Cowboy, he's been 5 rounds with Khabib, and neither of them have been able to stop him. So if I'm able to stop him in 3 rounds, those are 2 top 5 ranked guys. If I can stop him where the champ couldn't stop him, it sends a pretty strong message to the division that I'm one of the best finishers that it's out there.
You know, you made that move up to lightweight. Like, I mean, when you look back at your days at featherweight, does it feel ridiculous that you were doing that to yourself, given how good you've looked at 55? Because it was tough, right? Like, that was the general consensus. Like, I believe you told me before that it was quite difficult to make featherweight, right?
Yeah. No, it was always difficult, but I can't say it's that one thing that there's the big results. I wasn't training at City Kickboxing when I was at featherweight full time. After the last fight in Melbourne at featherweight, I was training overseas. I was training in Thailand. I was training in America. It was after that fight I made the move up. I made the move back to New Zealand, training with Eugene full time. So there were a lot of things going on there. It's not just necessarily the weight. Obviously, that's a big advantage now, but it's just development as a fighter. Coming to the UFC, I feel like a little green, but you're not going to turn down that kind of an opportunity. So I didn't have the chance. As you know, Israel's got 80 kickboxing fights. Brad's got 80 kickboxing fights. So they had a lot of time to develop outside of the UFC, whereas I've done a lot of development very quickly inside of the UFC. But it's a combination of things that led me here.
As the unofficial captain of City Kickboxing, you in charge of putting Israel back in line if he gets out of place or out of line?
Yeah. Unofficial team captain. I think I'm less of like a motivator. I'm more of a if someone's mucking around, I'll tell them off a bit more than anyone else. But it's not. I don't view myself as the captain. I'm just probably the angry old dad.
Just finally, a lot's been made of the star-making quality of this event in terms of Israel's career. Eugene told us the other day that he believes that he'll be the biggest active star in the UFC if he manages to get a win here, and it will really put him on the map even more so globally. Do you feel it has that star-making power, this fight?
Yeah. This is a stadium show. It's pretty crazy. The second only stadium show in UFC history, and the other one was pushed by Ronda Rousey. So it shows. You know, I don't think Rob versus anyone else would put a stadium. Not saying anything offensive to Rob or anything, but this Israel makes this fight. Israel's X factor makes this fight. His undefeated record makes this fight. So I feel like all the perfect ingredients are there for him to turn into a superstar.